here, which I'm excited about because we've got limited space, and some of the folks that couldn't be here or weren't aware of it last time are here now, and we're really glad to have everybody here. It's going to be a great show. I could go on and on about what I took away from the last show that JR did when he was here, but the two big things that I got from that was that number one, you won't find a finer singer and musician than J.R. Richards. He is a professional. And you're all about to find that out. So I promise you, you're not going to be disappointed. That's the first thing. I get lulled into watching YouTube videos, and you hear people on there, and they all sound good, and then you get a real professional in front of you, and then you realize just how good these guys are. And J.R. Richards is one of those guys. So that's the first thing. The second thing, which was really impactful for me, is that I got to realize that JR is a genuinely kind and humble and very down-to-earth man. And he made a lot of friends here, and we did friends. And it's really good because you just never know. You've got somebody that's famous, they're coming, you don't know what their personality is going to be like, and he's just like everybody else except better. He's awesome. So I'm gonna let him talk about himself, and then he's gonna give us a show, and I think we're all gonna have a good time. So let's.
There's chairs and seats
chairs if you
all
want to
over.
sit, just feel free, whatever. I'm gonna be moving around.
Get comfy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So let's give a round of applause for J.R. Richards.
Thank you, guys. Jeff, thank you for such an amazing introduction. I hope I live up to half of that. I'm so pleased and grateful you guys asked me to come back. It was just wonderful coming last time, and Jay have just been awesome. So you never know what people think, because it's like I started doing this playing solo in people's living rooms because of COVID. That kind of changed the whole game, because I had a whole tour planned in Southeast Asia, and I was working my way down to Australia and New Zealand, and we started in the Philippines, and I was just about to get into a car. I live in the UK, and I was driving to Heathrow, and my wife came out, and she said, "Hang on just a second." I'm like, "What?" This is February, I think, 2020. And she said the health minister in the Philippines just closed all the venues that were larger than 300 seats, which was every show. And it was at that time you're thinking like, okay, well, so I called my agent, and I'm like, all right, we're just gonna move everything back like a few weeks. And once it all blows over, then we'll just pick it up and go from there. And then it was like, well, we're gonna move it back a month now. And then of course, you could see that this was not gonna change. So, and then all the recording studios were closed. And so it was a bit of like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? And so I was talking to some friends of mine who were singers in other bands, and they're like, "Oh, we've just been playing in people's living rooms." And I remember thinking, like, "Yeah, right." No, it's definitely a thing. It's a thing. And so, summer of 2020, I guess I put it out into the ether just to see if people would be interested in having me come to their house, and this will be my 180th show. People like you guys have been very kind and have taken the chance on having somebody come to your house and turn it into a venue. So it's been really, really cool. Anyway, so yeah, and like Jeff said, please don't hesitate to wander around, use the restroom, grab a cocktail, whatever you need to do. Just be aware of the YouTube thing, but getting in trouble. But it's very, very casual. If you got a question for me or anything, don't hesitate to say, what's on your mind. I'm here. This is like, it's so different from a normal event where I'm on stage with a band and you say, "Hey, what's up?" and you play a song and "thank you," and then you're done. and there's no real conversation, so it's kind of nice to be able to kind of chat about the songs and life in general. Let's see, so this first one I'm going to play for you, I'm just going to check and see how things sound. I haven't had a chance to really sound check, so I'll play an old Leonard Cohen tune for you, and then we'll see how things go. Take it from there. So, let's see here. And you're welcome to come and sit closer if there's a place. I mean, you don't have to. I'm just going to sit.
There's seriously ottomans.
You can sit cross-legged, rather in front. You can just lay on your stomach.
Exactly. heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. We don't really care for music, do ya? It goes like this, from fourth to the fifth. A minor fall in the major lift, and the baffles keep composing. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair. She broke your throne. She cut your hair, and from your lips she drew. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
Quick adjustment here.
Sound checks good.
Yeah. I am my own sound man. So this is how we roll. But let's see. So
There we go. Getting comfy now. So I was gonna say, let's see, this next song. Are you guys, anybody here familiar with a TV show called Smallville?
Superman.
Yes, Superman. Yeah, it's part of the Superman. If you don't know, it's part of the whole Superman timeline. It was when he was, I think, like early 20s or something like that. And in fact, in this timeline, he's not with Lois Lane. He's dating a girl named Lana, which is
Lana Lane?
no, I don't like maybe her sister. I know. It was really kind of freaked me out because I had no idea there was a woman before Lois Lane. But anyway, in this TV show, the series, the end of one of the episodes, Superman dies in this season finale. But of course, he's Superman, so he didn't actually die. So he shows up at his girlfriend's house the first episode of the following season. And walks up to her door and he knocks on the door. And this is one of those really cool moments if you've ever had get a song in a TV or movie where all of the environmental sound fades away to nothing, and it's just this song that just swells up full blast. And the door is kind of open ajar, so when he knocks on it, it swings open, and there's Lana standing down the hallway, and everything goes into slow motion, and they see each other, and of course they run and embrace in the hallway. Anyway. Cool moment. This is the song that's being played during that, what I'm about to play you right now. The song's called Collide, and it's kind of, which makes sense because they're crashing into one another, I guess. But if you find yourself on Netflix or whatever going through old episodes of Smallville, this is the song you will hear.
Let's see.
So I have to ask,
Yes.
when they contacted you for that, what did they present you? What did they give?
What did they present?
I mean, like inspiration, right? Like, give me a song in A minor that, you know, I mean, what?
It turns out that the lady who was the musical director for the show, she was a huge Dishwalla fan, the band that I was in, and so she was already a fan of a bunch of records, and so in her mind, she was like, oh, that's the song I want for that scene, so she just contacted us and said, hey, you know, can we have the rights to it? So yeah, it was such a cool moment. Because it doesn't always work that way. A lot of times, sometimes when you get a song in a TV show, it's you think, oh, it's gonna be great. It's, you know, very famous people in it, and it turns out it's, you know, in the main characters are having lunch at a busy restaurant, sitting outside and then by traffic, and over the PA system in the background, and you know, the song's being played in the restaurant, and you can't hear it. So that happens a lot. Technically, it's in the movie though. Anyway, yeah, so this is cool. There we go.
When I came here, there was more, and now I've come back to destroy, and I've got nothing left, and it's a shame what we've become when we hurt the ones we love. And it's a place I cannot go anymore. When we collide, we lose ourselves. When we collide, we break and shoot. And as we push and we shove, and we hurt the ones we love. It's a mistake when we collide, we break. When the cold comes crashing down, and the fight lost what it's about, I could tell that you left. And it's a shame what we've become when we are the ones we love. And it's a place I cannot go anymore. When we collide, we lose ourselves. When we collide, we break and shoot. And as we push and we shove, and we hurt the ones we love. It's a mistake when we collide. When we collide. some mistake when we could all break. We break. We break.
Thank you guys. Appreciate that. That's awesome.
Y'all are too quiet.
Come on.
That's Superman. That's very exciting. I think we ended up having 3 songs over the 9 seasons in various shows on that show. So it's cool. She was a big fan. Very grateful for that. Let's see, this next one is, this is a song that almost never happened because it was, so I was in a band called Dishwalla, right? Very cool.
Real quick, where'd that name come from?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Well, we were, just before we got signed, we were actually called Dish, which is such a horrible name. I don't know what we were thinking. There was a moment there in the early 90s where it was cool to have a single syllable band name. And so we were jumping on that bandwagon. But anyway, so it turned out, so we were just got signed, or just about to get signed. We were starting to get some notoriety. We were in California. Anyway, it turns out there was another band in Georgia, I think, that had just got signed. They were also called Dish. And so they heard of us, they said their lawyers sent us a cease and desist letter. They said, we can't use the name anymore. And we were horrified because we're thinking like, oh my God, we've worked so hard, you know. If we have to change our name, nobody will know what we're doing or who we are or what. Anyway, in this kind of freak out session we were having in our rehearsal studio, there was a Wired magazine sitting on one of the tables, and there was an article about these guys in India who were pirating satellite TV. So at that time, there was only one, like a state channel, and there was, you know, but having satellite TV was very fashionable. So, you know, there's like a hut with dirt floors, but they've got 600 channels. Anyway, the guys that were doing this illegally, they were called dishwallahs, right? And so we were like, hey, okay, that's kind of cool. Had an H on the end of the words, I think, so we dropped the H, and we figured no one is going to have that name for a band. We don't have to worry about, you know, giving us a
Some band in India.
But what's funny is, you know, if people who are from India, they get it. You know, it's also the name for the guy or gal who's washing dishes in the back of the restaurant. They're called dishwallahs as well. But it'd be the equivalent of the cable guy. You know, good question, but yeah, random, huh? Which is also kind of a goofy name too. You know, anyway, but yeah, so this next song, we did our first album that came out. It was a big hit record, and by our third album, we kind of got into a thing, and I would write the songs, and I would meet the producer right before we'd go in and record, and he'd always like to fiddle around with the arrangements, you know, tweaks and things. And I'm going through the songs, and this next song I'm going to play for you, I play it for him, and he goes, yeah, that one is not very good. That was my favorite song for the album. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's like my best one on the record. And he's like, no, you can write a better song. So we had a bit of during that album, you know, fighting over this song, whether or not we would even record it or not. But eventually I won. So we did record it. And not that it ever became a massive hit or anything. Well, I take that back. It actually became a #1 hit in the Philippines. So I go to the Philippines every year, which is cool. Yeah. So anyway, it's I think it's a good song. So I'll play it for you now. The song that almost didn't happen. So it's called Every Little Thing. So, yeah, that's not it. Where are you?
Hey Siri.
That's part of the problem, because I'm 50, almost 58 now, and so my eyes have just gone. So if I'm not wearing glasses.
Is this the song? This is the song that got you here. Because
I hear you.
Because of the lyrics.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a question.
I'm just, I know he's there, but
The
the voice is all that matters. I can't see it.
Okay, yeah, here we go. So.
Let me in to see you in the moving lights, to get me on and on along the tears that come, and see you all come. I want you to believe in life, but I got the strange feeling that you've gone away. Will you find out who you are? Too late to change. Oh, wish I could be every little thing you wanted all the time. Oh, wish I could be every little thing you wanted all the time. Sometimes lift me up, step me up to make a sound, and let me hold you up before you hit the ground. And see you come. You say you're alright, but I get the strangest feeling that you've gone away. And will you find out who you are? And too late to change. I wish I could be every little thing you wanted. And oh, I wish I could be every little thing you wanted, and every little thing you wanted. Don't give me up. Don't give me up tonight. Oh, soon they will be right. Oh, salvation is when you find out who you are. Not too late. Not too late to change. It's not too late to change. I wish I could be every little thing you wanted all the time. And oh, I wish I could be every little thing you wanted, and every little thing you wanted. Oh, and every little thing you wanted. Love, I wish I could be every little thing you wanted. But I get the strangest feeling that you gone away.
Your producer was an idiot.
You know, he did, he's a very famous producer, and he did call me back, probably. Well, you know, he's not one of those guys that really apologizes, but he left me a message. I was on tour, and I get this phone message, and it's just this real quick. His name's Greg Rockenberg, and I get this, "Hey, JR, it's Greg." Just a big pause. All right, every little thing. I get it.
Speaking of Jeff, these are the lyrics for my man Jeff. I put him in something protected. Yes, handwritten by yours truly. It's also got the official J.R. Richards wax seal on it. I know you got the original lithograph to my original Counting Blue Card's handwritten lyric back then. So I'm gonna have to send you that one because this, just so you know what happened. You know, it got really cold this week. I don't know if you guys noticed. So of course I go down to the car because I didn't really fully appreciate how cold it actually was. And anyway, I was looking at my phone and I'm like, oh crap, okay. So I went down to the car and I started unloading all my stuff out of it, especially my guitars because they'll just be destroyed. And I forgot that I had a bag. The bag that had the lyrics for this other song in there for Jeff also had a bottle of champagne. So it's weird too because I could smell it. I got in the car.
Hell of a way to go.
But it was still so cold that it never melted. So it just shot glass everywhere and it just tore right through the lithograph, unfortunately. So, but as soon as I get home, I'll send it to you. Okay?
So awesome.
Crazy. Right. So let's see. This next song. I won't have a long story for every song too, I promise. So we were talking about. So you guys know the band Matchbox 20. So Dishwalla, band I was in, we were touring with those guys off and on quite a bit, and we were playing a show. We were opening for them, so just about to. And we were playing a show in Madison, Wisconsin. It was a Thursday. And normally when you're touring, doing these shows, you don't get out of the venue until 2 or 3 in the morning, typically. And then we would get on our bus, we go straight to a hotel, wake up the next morning, and we drive to the next city. But this particular venue, for some reason, had a curfew where we had to be out of the venue completely out by 10. Which is it was bizarre, really early. So we decided what we would do is we'd get out at 10, we'd just hop on the bus, we'd drive for an hour out of town, stop somewhere, check in for the hotel that night, just kind of get out of the city. So that's what we did, and we pull in some little place, middle of nowhere, outside of Madison, and it's 11 o'clock, and it's normally I don't eat after playing because it's so late, it's not good for the voice, but it was 11 and I was hungry, so I went down to the lobby and I asked the lady, I know, kind of middle of nowhere. I know it's 11 at night and it's a Thursday, but is there maybe somebody around at a restaurant that's still serving? She said, funny enough, there happens to be a little sushi restaurant that serves till midnight. So I was sitting in the lobby and I'm thinking, God, I don't want to go for sushi in the middle of Wisconsin. Right? That could go badly, right? And anyway, and then Rob Thomas comes down, and Rob comes down and asks the same question to the lady behind the counter. And she's like, oh, I just told the gentleman, I think he's in your party over there, about the restaurant across the street. So he looks over at me and he's like, let's go.
Okay. So we go across the street, we walk into this little
Japanese restaurant, and the place is completely empty, right? Which is never a good sign for a restaurant. But we sit down anyway, and he immediately orders a bottle of sake. And so I was telling him, look, I gotta be, probably will not join you because of my voice. And he's like, man, you need to seriously relax. So I acquiesced, and so we sat there, we're drinking sake. And then an hour goes by, and it's midnight, and we've gone through 2 bottles of sake at this point, and we've not eaten anything. And I look around this place, and it's completely packed. I'm like, what the heck? It's midnight. Turns out this little sushi bar in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin on Thursday night at midnight, it's karaoke night. Right? And so you've got 2 lead singers and then drinking. So there we are, and so I was telling Rob, one of my worst fears, I avoid karaoke as much as I can. I'm terrified of karaoke because for whatever reason in my mind, like my worst nightmare would be bombing on a karaoke stage. Right? It's just far too much pressure, so I just won't catch me near it. Anyway, and I was telling him this, and he was like, that's crazy, but I'm like, yeah. But he'd stuck his name in the hat before we start having this conversation. So we're having this conversation, and you hear this, R. Thomas, to the stage, please. So he goes up, and he very smartly goes up and sings one of his own songs, which I thought was pretty genius. He just sang the song to probably 6,000 or 7,000 people a few hours before, and does a brilliant job. He comes back, sits down, and he stuck my name in the hat as well. So the next person that's called is here's Jay Richards to the stage, and I'm like, oh man. So I walk up to the stage, and I'm panicking. And I thought, I'll do the same thing. I'll sing one of my own songs. So I sang Cannibal Cars, which was a big hit at the time. And I wrote it, so I don't have to even look at the screen or anything for the words. And I thought I sang it, thought I did a pretty good job. I'm back and I sit down. And there's this table with these 4 guys next to us that are having a really good time. It was kind of rowdy, actually. One of the guys leans over and he taps me on the shoulder and he's like, hey man. I'm like, hey. It's like, that was pretty good. Thank you. He's the best part. It's not quite how the guy does it, but that's So we realized, that clearly these people had no idea that we were the guys that actually wrote and recorded these songs. So all of that pressure that I've been putting on myself all just kind of melted away. So we were singing everything. We were just rocking, Beatles, Stones, Guns N' Roses, Queen songs. And anyway, this next song is not an easy song to sing, but I thought I would give it a go, just because I knew that if I completely crashed and burned, no one would care. It's pretty safe, but I will play it for you now. It's not my karaoke song. Being a sound man, it's crazy. Let's see.
See the stone set in your eyes, see the thorn twist in your side, and I wait for you. Sleight of hand and twist of fate, on the bed of nails she makes me wait, and I wait for you. And with or without you, and with or without you, I can't live. With or without you. Through the storm we reach reach the shore. You give it all, but I want more. And I wait for you. And with or without you, with or without you, I can't live. With or without you, and you give yourself away, and you give yourself away, and you give. My hands are tied, my body moves, she's got me with nothing to win and nothing left to lose. And you give yourself away, and you give yourself away, and you give. With or without you, with or without you, I can't live. With or without you, with or without you, with or without you, I can't live. With or without you. My hands are tied. My hands are tied.
Yeah. It's not quite how the guy does it.
He's so hard to sing, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's not easy. That's it. That's an action I can sing right there.
Good Irish accent.
Pulsing the women and children.
Brilliant. So good. Right. Play something on the piano for you. Man, about that time. This is
A song from the very first Dishwalla album. It was a ballad that we did. It was our fourth single off the album, and you know, this is during the age of MTV, right? Where everything was about MTV. And I try to explain it to my kids. I'm like, because you know, if you wanted to watch a music video, there was only one place to watch it. It wasn't YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, and Facebook, and a million other things. Anyway, so so if you did a song, if you had a single, you did an MTV music video for it, and what they would do is they would take the song and they would send. First off, they spent a fortune. I think on this particular song, they spent $500,000, you know, for 4 minutes. It's crazy. That you know, I guess he gets to pay back. But they would send the song to, you know, half a dozen film directors. And the film director would listen to the song and they would send back a treatment of how they saw the song visually, you know, during these 4 minutes. I'll never forget for this song getting the first treatment I read. This is how it read. So brilliant. It was the lead singer would be suspended 30 feet in the air and fly through an enchanted forest with the wind blowing in his hair. And I remember reading that, and my 22-year-old self or whatever was like, "Oh my God, that's awesome." We're gonna do this.
So we did. So
if you want to go back and look at old MTV videos, because it was all over MTV for a brief moment there. Me with much longer hair flying through an enchanted forest. So actually, I think the idea was they put me in this huge harness, and they were gonna, this big sound stage in Chicago, and they were gonna, suspend me in the air. Every time they would take me up 20, 30 feet, I would flip upside down. Yeah, they could not figure it out. I think our Scottish film director was like, he's like, you're top heavy. Top heavy, lad. What a problem. It's not gonna work. So anyway, but they stuck me up high up in the trees and everything, and they filmed me. So we worked it out, but
I kind of want to hear about the ones you turned down.
I have to say some were pretty ridiculous, simple things. But it was often like one of the videos we did. They filmed it in a Universal lot in Los Angeles, where they filmed like all of Seinfeld. It basically looks like it could be the brownstone area of New York, city. And so we filmed in the middle of the city, like we'd taken over the street, and we hired, I'm so British now, so we rented 35 minis. So they were like all the cars that were in the traffic were only minis, which is kind of funny. So we were driving around in minis all day long. But yeah, I mean, you just never know. Because every time you get one of those treatments, how it actually translates is never anywhere near how it reads. But it's all kind of a crapshoot, actually, the whole thing. It's kind of fun. But a lot of money spent, that's the only guarantee. Anyway, the song is called Give. I'll play a very stripped down version of it. Whoop. That's not what we did. It's just a problem, I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. It's working now.
Want to remain a child with you forever, and here as you lay before me, it sees me and tell me to stay. What would you give? And Lord, what would you give? 'Cause what would you give? And Lord, what would you give? 'Cause I have felt the comfort, and now what did I do to disappoint you? And I have my emptiness, And I don't think it really even matters. And maybe nothing does. And still it keeps returning to remind me that I want to remain. A child with you forever. Until it's too late before me. You tease me and tell me to stay. And what would you give? Oh yeah, what would you give? 'Cause what would you give? Oh yeah, I want to remain a child with you forever. Until it's too late before me. It tease me and tell me to stay. What would you give? Lord, what would you give? Oh. And what would you give? And what would you give? 'Cause what would you give?
Thank you. Yes, I know. Yes, that'd be awesome. I smashed my hand the other day. So.
It's alright, I know.
Sure. Yes, thank you. That's a very kind thing you just did.
I'm a mom.
It's
I've seen
occupational.
Bruise, you don't bruise the same way when you go overseas.
So good, Andrew.
Let's see. So, right. So I'm gonna play. Hang on. We played the very first song my father taught me how to play on guitar. A few years ago, I was collecting songs to record an all covers album. And so I was doing my research, so many wonderful songs in the world. And so I've got my Spotify playlist going and making notes. And at the same time, I was kind of going through this period where, for whatever reason, my dad passed away about 20 years ago. And he passed away before smartphones are really that smart. Like now we film everything, there's a million videos of all of us out there, it's crazy. But my dad, he passed before that was a thing, and so there was no real, unfortunately, we never captured him in any way, except for still photos. So I realized I started to forget what his voice sounded like, and I had a hard time kind of picturing him moving in the way that he did. And we were very close, so it was really heartbreaking. And in that time, I was listening to a lot of songs, and this song I'm about to play you, I heard it, and it's the very first song he taught me how to play a guitar. And man, as soon as I heard the song, it was like it all came flying back. I could hear him singing. I could see him, sitting in front of me, pointing at my finger, saying, "No, that finger goes there, not there." And it all came flooding back, and it's just incredible the power that music has, to kind of transport you to a place in time. It's a pretty powerful thing. It's like it sneaks in from behind, Love that.
Anyway, so every time I play this song now, I can hear my dad, which is pretty cool. So it's just, so it's and it's a great song. He has a good taste. My dad,
I will play for you now. Close enough.
Someone told me long ago there's a calm before the storm. I know it's been coming for some time. When it's over, so to say, it'll rain a sunny day. I know it's shining down like water. And I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? And I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Going down someday, going down someday. Yesterday and days before, the sun is cold, the rain is hard. I know, been that way for all my time. Different railroad goes through the circle, fast and slow. I know, I can't stop being wonder. Have you ever seen the rain? And I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Going down someday, going down someday. Going down on a sunny day.
cool. Let's see. Awesome. That had a good taste. Let's see this next one. I'm gonna see if I can get Brian here to rock.
Yeah.
You guys.
Is that fun? Come on.
You guys feeling it?
Yeah.
I think so. All right. Yeah.
You geared up enough there, bro?
Just check a little help from my friends. That's not.
Just so you know, we're all counting on you. Just so you know, we're all counting on you.
So they're not presenting you with anything here, Brian? Bags of cash, bags of cash.
That's cool. This takes a lot of pressure off me.
Yeah.
I love it that much.
If we're laughing, we're laughing at them. It's okay.
What was that?
If we're laughing, we're laughing at them.
Oh, no. Laughing's good.
We're laughing with you, not at
Jeff never feels pressure, it's always fun. You can tell Brian's ignoring us.
Well, no, actually, I'm trying. I was the dumbass that changed tuning.
Yeah, I wonder if
we were doing jam a little bit. I'm like, oh shit, now I gotta.
You get your guitar set.
Yeah, I know. I need actually. Yeah, we're getting the whole world.
Oh man, no, I don't know if I told you this, Jeff, but this whole singing by myself is way out of my comfort zone.
Well, if you don't like karaoke, then that's probably right?
Yeah, I'm so not used to. I mean, I write songs by myself, and I'll play all day at home, but playing in front of people by myself.
I know that's right.
So I appreciate you guys joining me on this.
Yeah, well, we're happy to be here.
You're doing okay.
Yeah, you are.
My wife is very British, and she says, just get over yourself. Stop being ridiculous.
Right.
Everybody's fine, good?
He needs to be louder. Louder than me.
It's good enough for rock and roll, so we're all right. That's all good.
Alright, there we go. Yes, I'll start it out.
Yep.
Feeling it. Alright. It's the first time we played it all the way through here, so it's
We did.
yeah. We were so confident we would just nail it.
Must have been me out surrender. As I could tell by how far the child shall stretch out hand. He walks with a purpose in his sneakers. Down the street she had many questions that children often do. He said, tell me you're far somewhere. Tell me am I very far? Must have been late afternoon. It's on my way. The sun broke free of clouds. We count only blue cars, skip the cracks in the streets and guns. Many questions can't seem cold. It's a pace. And all my shoes make up nonsense in the place. And all the clothes I stay, we've been sweating, cross that people like that. Many questions that children often do. We said, tell me your thoughts on God, 'cause I really like to meet her. Ask her why we're who we are. Lord, tell me your thoughts on God, 'cause I'm on my way to see her. Tell me am I very far? Am I very far now? Am I very far now? Lord, tell me your thoughts on God.
That was totally cool. I was so tempted to just stop playing.
I know, you said it's so good,
Yeah, I'm afraid to because that'd be cool.
Next time. Next time I just sing.
Yeah.
We get a cut.
Let's see. Let's see. Let me play something that I've just started trying to do, and so it could go poorly.
We're off
But it could be brilliant, wonderful too. We'll find out.
Brilliant.
This one could be absolutely brilliant. But this week, well, actually, right before I left to fly out here, I was going through a lot of old analog tapes that I have that are like physical analog tapes. I was transferring them to digital because they're getting old and eventually they may fade. So I want to have a digital backup. And I was listening to some early tracks from a solo album, and I had this amazing band that played on my first solo album. And so I was listening to all the individual performances. But I had, on drums, I had Kenny Aronoff, who played with like John Cougar and has played with everybody. So he came from amazing drummer. Chris Chaney, who plays from Jane's Addiction. I had two guitar players, Phil X, who plays with Bon Jovi, and Rusty Anderson, who plays with Paul McCartney. And me. And then of course I had my best friend who was in my band, who sadly passed away at 27. He had sung backup vocals on this particular song, and that kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. But anyway, so I was thinking like, God, it'd be so cool to take some of their performance and see if there was a way for me to play with them in this acoustic format. So what I did is I pulled these old tracks up and I kind of put them in an arrangement. Let's see if it works, and where I can actually play with these guys. And when you hear these backup vocals, this is my best friend, a good mate, who passed away far too young. Anyway, this song called "Far Into the Black."
This was in a TV show called One Tree Hill. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. This was like the season ender episode of something. I think it was the same musical director from Small Films.
It's like you get all the finales.
She was amazing. Let's see. I think it's here. Let's see. So this could go horribly wrong. I'm just going to warn you. But I feel like I'm in a safe place. So. Let's see if this happens.
It's in those days when nothing seems right, when the world feels as if it's stolen from a fight. I pray for you to wash the heart from my back. The greatest fear in the world will be and I won't be there to stop the world if it comes to take you, and I won't be there to stop the world. And on the far end of the black, there was light, was light. And on the far end of the black, there was light, was light. And it was you, and it was you. I'll wait in the black as you bathe yourself in light. I pray for you to wash the all from my back. My greatest fear in the world will be and I won't be there to stop the world if it comes to take you, and I won't be there to stop the world. And on the far end of the black, there was light, was light. And on the far end of the black, there was light, was light, and it was you, and it was you. You don't seem to care. Smile is your death, and to those around you beware. And on the far end of the light, there was light. And on the far end of the night, there was light, and it was you, and it was you. You don't seem to arms around you beware.
Awesome. I haven't played that in a long time, so.
Come on.
Cool.
Let's go.
Good backing vocals.
I know, right?
Well, I've got a couple more for you, but and then I'm gonna see if I think we're gonna end this thing by playing something.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Yeah, I hope so. I know, right? Let's go. I mean, it's gonna be a full set next time I come. So
Okay.
like 15 songs. I'll be big then.
I'm in. He didn't ask me, but I'm in.
Piano doesn't seem to want to work today.
There is a grand piano here.
We'll all just move to that side of the room so we can see.
It's like that decent back.
I know, right?
Right. So this was also an episode of Smallville. It's called Angels and Devils.
And this is the last time that I'm never gonna come here tonight. And this is the last time I will fall into a place that felt so inside. Well, I can see the pain in you, and I can see the love in you, and fighting all the demons will take time. Well, take time. The angels they bind inside for us, and all we ever gonna learn to fly. The devils they bind inside of us, and are we ever gonna come back down and come around? I'm always gonna worry about the things that could make us cold. And this is the last time that I'm never gonna give in tonight. And all the angels or devils call me here. I just wanna know what burns and what is great to see. Well, I can see the pain in you, and I can see the love in you, and fighting all the demons will take time. And will take time. The angels they bind inside for us, and are we ever gonna learn to fly? The devils they bind inside of us, and are we ever gonna come back down and come around? I'm always gonna worry about the things that could break us. if I were to give it up and then take a breath and make it deep, 'cause it might be the last one you get, and be the last one that can make us it could make us I'm always gonna worry about the things that could make us cold.
Jeff, you'll appreciate it. You can see my sustain pedal.
They move. If you will. I know. My one downstairs, Terry's a piano student of mine, and I have to get honored to use that sustain pedal, and when I do it slides. And you start scooting.
Yeah, it doesn't have the weight of that behind it to hold it together. Of course, the cap came off too. There's a lot of like secret jiggling of things going on while I was playing that song and trying to. Yeah, I put tape on it. It didn't want to stay.
You could have just had Jamie sit up front and just put her foot against it, right? It's like, doesn't give an excuse to get that close. She's just like, yeah.
So strong. Hey, well, maybe I've got a little like maybe we start playing.
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it.
I have to say that I hope I don't totally destroy the song for you.
I'll talk about it a little bit here.
Yeah.
So one of the things that Brian and I have done since after college, maybe a little before college, when we would go to a party, we would sort of seclude ourselves off in another room by ourselves. I know, yeah. And if we didn't bring our guitars, we'd listen to CDs and we'd take turns.
Cassettes?
Yeah, well, yeah, we had CDs.
Tracks, whatever.
Yeah, and then it got to be a regular thing for us. He'd come over, we'd play our own music for a while, and then we would go in and we would take turns, and it was sort of a, we would tell a little story like, okay, I want to play this song, this is why. It was all
this
CDs.
way.
And then with the age of streaming and stuff, it became easier and easier for us to do this.
You have to rewind.
And then that led to YouTube. And so over a decade ago, Brian and I were sitting down, and my first iteration of the music room before it came the Star Wars room, and then the G.I. Joe room, and then back to music room now. He's like, hey, I want to show you this video on YouTube, right? And it was Rob Thomas, and it was Rob Thomas just at a piano, and he's just doing this performance with a small intimate crowd. And he starts it off talking about the song, and the song is 3 a.m., and we all know that song, right? Most of us do, I'm sure we all know it. And he starts off by saying that he wrote the song for something that was not what people generally use the song for, right? Because everybody thinks it's about relationships or whatever. And he says, I hesitate to tell you, he says that in a roundabout way, because it would take away from the universality of a song, that you can take it into your own and use it for yourself. But the song is actually written about a time when he was a teenager, or about 12 or 13, and his mom had cancer. And so the whole song is really about his mom, right? And it's cold outside, and she hands me my raincoat. Everybody thinks that's the girlfriend or whatever, but it's really his mom, But he wants you to be able to use that song for whatever you use it for, right? So I probably watched that video of Brian hundreds of times.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
For sure.
And when JR came last time and he talked about how he had toured with Rob, I thought, I wonder if he'd do this song with me. Because it is a real departure from the album version of the song. It really is.
And I'm interrupted, and I apologize because we didn't like planning this, but one of our appreciations is an artist with their instrument. right? And it doesn't matter who it is, or what the genre is, or whatever. When you see an artist with their instrument, and just like JR is doing tonight, like, I mean, he's exposing himself here with his music. I'm sorry, I don't mean that. I mean, like beautifully. Think about
I do start stripping towards the end.
When you think about that song, right, and Rob Thomas did the piano, right, everybody hears it on guitar and in the band, but he's like, this is the basics, and I think it's Stevie Ray Vaughan on Unplugged, and things like that, where the things that really grip you, right, you see the passion of the people in their instrument, which we see here tonight, and thank you very much for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't help but pass that on to you, because it's just the beautiful part of the music, right? It's the core, it's the soul of it.
We didn't rehearse it, it's a weird arrangement, we didn't play through it, but we're gonna figure it out, and this is, just you guys.
Just as a caveat.
An additional caveat.
Yeah.
When you sent it to me, it was like, oh yeah, 3M. So I was listening to that version, and then I looked at it closer, and I'm like, oh, it's a little different. So I've only looked at it a few times, so it's a good chance. But
Let's give it a
so don't hesitate to sing along. Just kind of keep me on the rails.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. It's a little different. Okay. Let's do it.
She says cold outside, she hands my raincoat. She's always worried about things like that. She said, it's all gone, might as well be my fault. She's only asleep when it's raining. She screams and her voice is strange. She says, it's 3 a.m. I must be lonely. And she says, baby, well, I can't help but stare at old sometimes. The rain's gonna wash away, I believe. She's got a little bit of something about it's better than nothing. And in a colored portrait world, she believes that she's got it all. She swears the moon has never hit me quite that high as it used to, and I think she's crazy. She only sleeps when it's raining. She screams, and her voice is strained, and she says, it's 3 a.m. I must be lonely. And she says, baby, well, I can't help to be scared of that old sometimes. And the rain's gonna wash away, I believe. She believed that life isn't made up of all that you used to. And the clock on the wall has been stuck for 3 days. She thinks that happiness is a map that sits on the can't help but be scared of all the sometimes wash away. 'Cause I believe in
Well, you crushed it. I got some more to do. But, that was awesome.
Well, that's not easy for the first time to do that well.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, because that is not at all like the song is.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you were saying, I mean, when you strip the song down to its bare bones,
Yeah.
you know, and typically people like myself, when I do my own songs like that, I can kind of push them into a different direction. So I get so used to hearing it one way and do it.
For sure, right?
But the trick is, does it stand on its own when you do that? It really does kind of show its colors as being a good song or not. That song is amazing. Yeah, so I was quite taken aback when I saw that version. I was like, wow, Rob, dude,
I know, it's really good.
you really
Yeah,
did
you
it,
know,
yeah.
people were hanging on the edge of their seat.
Oh my god, like people crying and stuff.
So if you haven't seen the YouTube video, you need to go see it. It's actually just type in, yeah.
Did it up at the stifle. Just him and the piano.
Yeah, it's really well done though. It's interesting too because you don't really see him. He doesn't go out and play piano and keyboards during the show. He plays the guitar and he's mostly just singing. So it's interesting. You're like, oh, he can
He
play.
played piano, it's not too bad.
That's pretty cool. So I saying, well, anyway. So, well, thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for doing that for me.
Yeah.
No, it's great. I like it.
Awesome. Well, I got one more for you guys before I go.
Just one.
You can talk me into playing all night.
I got 4 more after that.
Awesome. Are you sure we're not gonna do Journey? Do you want to do,
Yeah, I'm gonna sing an octave lower, I think.
It's a little bit out of my range. Let's see. This is another one that my father taught me how to play on guitar when I was young. I was telling my kids, it's kind of weird, you know, when you grew up in my house and my age group, it was, you listened to your parents' music because there was only one stereo in the house, you know, and it was all about having huge speakers in the living room.
Dude, I had weird piano.
Right. I mean, it was like that was our thing. It's like you were destined to listen to what your parents played. Luckily, my parents had some good taste, and so there was some great music. My kids, and kids these days they're all on their own headphones listening to their own playlist, you know, which is kind of crazy to me. God knows what they're listening to, but and so they don't listen to what I'm playing often because I have a studio at my house, a recording studio, and I'll be playing, and occasionally I'll get the knock at the door. Dad, can you turn it down? So I can't hear them on headphones. So, but this is one of those songs that my dad taught me. It's a brilliant song. It's well, I got a story. One last story that I'll tell you, but I'll play this first. It's kind of funny how life works out. This is a great song, and don't hesitate to sing with me.
I was gonna say,
This is a good
we
one.
want to sing, we can sing.
Yeah, absolutely.
People want to
Please.
sing.
Yep.
You can sing. But yeah, at least bump your head.
Well, I've played this song in about 12 countries in the last year, and every single country everybody knows the words to this song. So.
in their language, right?
almost heaven, West Virginia, millions of mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is older, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country road, take me home to the place that I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. And all my memories, they gather round her. A miner's lady, stranger to the water. Like
Where's after that?
Dark and dusty.
Thank you.
dark and dusty, beating on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home into the place that I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear her voice in the morning, how she calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. I'm driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, yeah. Country roads, take me home to the place that I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads. See, like everybody knows the words. So, right, well, it's, okay, so I was driving down the road with one of my youngest boys, and he's, flipping on his phone and doing whatever he's doing, making sure we don't crash, and this song comes on the radio, and as soon as the chorus kicks in, he and I immediately both start belting it out at the same time, and then stop and look at each other and go, how do you know this song? So apparently the song was in a video game.
Fallout 76.
Oh, you are a legend over there.
Yeah, he is.
That's my boy.
What's going on through with me?
Shame the game sucked. So how funny is that, right? So the cool thing about that was that my son, because he wasn't listening to what I was playing, because he's got his own thing on. He liked the song so much, he went and found it on Spotify, downloaded the lyrics, and learned every single word to the whole song. And so there we are driving down the road, and I got a tear in my eye. I was so proud. And so I took him, we went back home, and I had that recording studio in the house, so I put him up in front of the microphones, and I played acoustic guitar, and I recorded singing the song. Yeah, how good is that? So I've got that, which is cool. Anyway, we're not done yet, so I'll count you in, all right? A couple more choruses to go here. I'll give you a start now. Country roads, country. There it is, right there. 1, 2. Country roads, take me home to the place that I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads. Country roads, take me home to the place that I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Lord, you were going, I love it.
We'll do it again.
Good news, you had some piss poor harmony.
You were in the ballpark, man. It's all good.
Yeah, I'll take ballpark. Ballpark got me through high school.
It was inspired.
The music's loud
I think you're, they are already vacation.
Yeah, don't go anywhere, just take pictures with you, autographs, whatever. Crazy, wow.
Oh.
Okay.